Alright guys, here we go. This is what we're drinking today. A nice stout, cookies and cream stout. Imperial milk stout with chocolate and vanilla. And this one is a 10% alcohol. Right down there. And this is from Little Beast. Right over there. Little Beast Brewing. Got this when I was hanging out with Jack and his wife. And so yeah, this is another brewery from Portland. And this one is to support that right there. Weathered Souls Brewing Company, brewed to support justice and equality for people of color. So there's that. So let's see if it's any good though. Smells like a stout. Okay. It's sweet, it's roasty, definitely has a lot of body. I'd say it's a little bit chewy. It's not the thickest, motor oil I've ever drank, but it has a little bit of density to it. A little viscosity. Alright, very nice. I don't get like an obvious cookies and cream flavor, but it is sweet. So we are using Hook from Storybook Soapworks. Another one of those soaps that was sent over by Paul. Lather me whiskers. Me buddy. Me pal. Me captain. So that's what it looks like. Kind of has a nice cream color. You can see the scrape marks. Paul has been putting a dent in it from what I can tell. This one has a nice scent. I really do like it. I like how they kind of incorporated gunpowder with like a medley of different woods. It's a woody scent to me. Kind of like, not a sweet woody scent, but like a dry woody scent, if that makes any sense. And then you get like the leather in there as well. I feel like the gunpowder, the woods, and the leather are like mingled very well together. Like they're sharing equal parts almost. And then, the description says some stuff about like salty sea air and all that. I looked it up. I don't get any of that. To me, woody, leather, and the gunpowder, that's what I get. So, and I do enjoy it a lot. And it's loaded up into the Lancaster Razorworks bowl there. Absolute functional piece of art. We're going to be mowing the whiskers down with the Friodur, the square point there, and we're going to be using the Lancaster brush in my bougie soaker bowl here, my bougie brush bath. So let's get to lathering while we talk. So I was not planning on doing a straight razor shave today, not at all. I was going to do use my favorite razor in the whole den, my Schick Goat Golden Injector 500, Schick Golden 500 Injector. I'm getting all tongue-tied because I saw my buddy Eric Lawson on Facebook use it today, and or recently I should say, and I said, I told him you use the Schick Goat 500, goat as in greatest of all time. I told him you use the Schick Goat 500, and now I'm all fucking tongue-tied thinking about it. So immediately that soaked up a bunch. Just gotta dip the tips and keep lathering. So yeah, I was gonna use the Schick injector today, but some recent events. I'm gonna open my window. My wife's got the air conditioner on, so I hope it's not too loud for you guys. I can hear a slight buzzing through the door, but to me it's not that bad. But I can already tell it's getting stuffy in my small bathroom. Anyhow, back to my goddamn story. I was watching John Shaves today. Check out his channel, great channel. And today was his first straight razor shave. And he had a new razor, good looking razor. And he got it honed up by Max Sprecher, of all people, the Notorious. And got his first shave in with it. And he was just having a whole medley of issues. And a little bit was, technique things. But, he was saying the edge was tuggy. And you could see him struggle through trying to take a swipe, especially in the on the neck area. You could see him kind of getting frustrated because it wasn't moving through the whiskers. I thought this was pretty peculiar. And, I want to start off by saying, I'm no professional. I've only got probably around 50 to 60 shaves in with a straight razor. And I don't consider myself a pro. I don't consider myself like the guy to go to for straight razor advice. But there's some things that, I feel like I could shed out the basics at least. And from one bearded shaver to another, kind of explain what works for me and how I go about it. So that's all this is, take it or leave it. But I figured I would put this up just to help John out. So that's why we're getting in a straight razor shave today. Kind of impromptu straight razor shave wasn't my plan, but that's what we're doing. So the scent I do find is a little bit lighter than I want it to be. Maybe just under medium. It's there. It's just not very bold. And it's always a little bit of a bummer when you like a scent, but it's just a little faint for your liking. But we will make do and we'll enjoy what we get out of it. So I know a lot of straight razors a lot of straight razor shavers make a big deal about the type of lather you use when straight razor shaving and how it should be thin and damn near overly hydrated, just like super hydrated and thin, and how a fluffy Santa Claus beard is gonna do you no favors when it comes to straight razor shaving. I don't believe that shit one bit. Not one bit. But you never know. I mean, I'm not a full face shaver, so that's the one caveat. Maybe if I was shaving the mustache and the goatee where hairs are super dense, maybe it would make a difference. The one thing that always gets me though is I have a very hard time believing that a sharp, honed edge can't cut through hair. It's just fucking difficult for me to wrap my head around. Anyhow, here we go. Start off with the basics. Grip. My width of grain is going up. So that's just, it's weird, but it's what it is. My width of grain goes up. So when I'm doing an upstroke on my cheeks, I grab, this is my right hand, I put 2 right here, 2 on the tang, or I don't know what the hell they call this, 2 right here, and then 1 underneath the tang there. I reach over my head, stretch my skin, always thinking about skin stretching when I can. Put the razor to the face and roll the wrist. I'm not moving my arm whatsoever, I'm just rolling the wrist. Down here, stretching the skin, line up the razor, I'm moving my arm ever so slightly, not the wrist. I get it straight and then in one solid fluid upwards motion. I go up. You know what I mean? Then roll it. If you were to be going down, you could just roll it and go down. You know what I mean? What I've been trying to work on is doing this up right here and then switching it just like this. And what I'm doing is I'm pinching with these two fingers along this area, and then I'm kind of stabilizing. It's kind of hard to show, but I'm stabilizing underneath with my middle finger and pinching with those two fingers. So I'm kind of like this. Stretching whenever available. Now the thing is I'm making confident strokes. Like I'm not trying to like do like little baby jitters. I'm not trying to buff. I'm making confident strokes, and it takes time. It takes time, John. I don't expect somebody to pick it up immediately. I should talk a little bit about angle as well. I put it to the skin, you know, and just ever so slightly off, pretty much at all times. I don't really ever see a need to go like way wide. If you see me doing that, it's not intentional. I'm probably losing focus. But so basically, I guess I've said it before, but it's like, looks like I got a little bit into my beard there, but it's all right. The thing is have a loose but sure grip. You know what I mean? You're not putting the fucking death hold on it. You're not like seeing the whites of my knuckles. But it's loose, but you're sure about it in your hand. You're confident about your grip. You know what I mean? And again, it's like that confidence. It just takes time to feel confident. You don't really come out the gate like feeling confident. I noticed you mentioned in your video that you were nervous. You know, I'm nervous. I got the jitters. You could almost like see the butterflies flying. And that's all right. I mean, it's natural. Down here, it's almost like I'm doing like some sort of mix of moving the arm and the wrist. Like I'm moving the arm up, but I'm also giving it like the slightest wrist action. But these aren't like, I'm not like doing like a buffing motion, and I'm not like easing my way through it. It's like a confident, steady, light pressure. And it just, I'm telling you, it takes time. But it's like you put it to your face, and the ball pretty much has to be rolling. So when you line it up and you get going, you don't want to put it to your face and like stop moving. That's when you get cut. It's like you bring it to your face and you want to have the ball rolling. All right. So not a bad first pass whatsoever. Now, granted, my beard is much lower on the neck than yours is. I'm, pretty sure the growth of mine maybe isn't as dense as yours. I'm giving you kind of like the benefit of the doubt because I don't know your face, you don't know my face. I'm assuming your hair growth is coarser than mine. And so we are just flat out going to have different experiences. But I think these tips will help you regardless. You know what I mean? Like, one day you'll find the fucking razor that has the right grind, the right dimensions, and, the right weight, and it just feels fucking perfect to you. And these tips are going to help you, with technique after that. Once you find a razor that just does it for you. Like, our buddy Ken, Shave 326, he was having a rough go of it. Like we all do. And he was thinking about hanging it up. Until he got a fucking monster-ass 8/8 Osiris. Or something like that. Some monster-ass Osiris blade. Now, I'm not saying you gotta go out and do that. But I'm just saying he was thinking of hanging it up until he found a blade that did it for him. And once he got comfortable with that blade, I do believe he worked in reverse and found that the stuff before, wasn't as bad as he originally thought. And this is common practice. You start off, you struggle, you find something that clicks, you get better with it, and then you work in reverse, finding out that the stuff you struggled with, you come back and do just fine with. It happens all the time. So it's just part of the process. Don't sweat it. Don't get discouraged. Don't give up. Just, soak in information. Soak in information from people that have more knowledge than me. Okay, here we go. Against the grain, downward stroke for me. Pretty much the same thing, but instead of underneath, we're going over the top and also over the top on the back. I was told to put 2 and 1 because it gives you more of a sure grip. When I first started, I was kind of doing a 1 and 1. It was kind of loose. It wasn't as sure. Then I did a 2 and 1, and it feels a lot more sure in my hand, a lot more secure, and I feel positive about it. All right, so same thing. Line it up, roll the wrist. Stretch. Line it up. Downward. Sure, confident strokes. Another thing you'll notice is I don't really have like a methodology for across the grain. I'm a 2-pass shaver. That's what works for me. So basically, I go with the grain and I go against the grain. Those are my two passes. It works for me. I found it reduces irritation, and in the end, when you go across the grain, it's gonna across the grain's what matters, man. Across the grain is the baby butt smooth, factor. So basically a combination of all these things. And, you know, you might just pick up one and get one down and forget the rest. You know what I mean? When you go to shave tomorrow, you might only remember the fucking 2 fingers in one, and you'll get that down. And you'll remember that every single shave, and the rest of the tips might be fuzzy. But once you got this down, then you can remember, you know, this next. You know, you'll remember that one next. And then you'll get those 2 down, and you'll remember skin stretching whenever it's possible. You know what I mean? And once skin stretching becomes natural, you'll fucking, you know, remember the next thing, and remember the next thing, and the blade angle, and, you know, confident, sure strokes. You know what I mean? It takes time. It's just a process. You're not going to jump on camera the first time and kill it like I did. I'm just joking. I'm just fucking with you. I was a fucking awkward mess. You can go back and watch my first video. Alright, looks like we very smoothly avoided that blemish. Wipe that off and try to clean up the neck. Can't see, but with my other hand, I'm putting it on my chest and stretching with it. I mean, whenever available. I'm dead serious. Whenever available. And I'm not putting like the fucking death grip when I'm stretching either, you know what I mean? I'm not stretching to the point of, you know, my skin fucking snapping in half. I'm just making it taut. Sorry I didn't talk a whole bunch about storybooks, but at this point I've used it multiple times and I've gave it praise for being a quality soap base. And as far as the scents go, I haven't had one from Storybook that I don't like. So, Storybook has been killing it. Or I should say, they were killing it. I don't think they're making many moves these days. But they were killing it right under my nose. But at least I'm going back and making up for that by trying their offerings kind of retroactively. And the soap provided a great base for me to perform my shave today. Alright. So, John, like I said, I'm not the big straight razor guru, but I feel like these are some basics that helped me, and they sure as hell can help you. And you know, when you get these down pat, then you can move on to other fucking things that are important. And these things you can work on with the straight razor you have now. I mean, you don't have to wait until you hunt down a vintage 8/8 wedge or near wedge. You don't have to wait, you know, for a custom to be built in the exact specifications that you think are gonna work for you. These are things that you can do right now with that same razor that didn't work for you. So keep that in mind. Don't get discouraged, bro. And stropping is a whole nother story that we don't have time for. Stropping is a whole nother story. Because really, I'm not saying you suck at stropping, but if you're inexperienced, anything's possible. Here's the matching splash. I'm just going to dunk this on, and we're probably going to abruptly end it because we're past my 25-minute goal. This is a milky aftershave. It does have a bit of viscosity. Oh, smells fucking fantastic. And I know they do. Their aftershaves are pretty decent as well, so there's that. Okay. Like I said, I'm going to try to wrap it up abruptly. John, I really hope this helps you, bro. Just have a beer, chill, take the edge off, no pun intended, and just keep working at it. Trust the process. Alright, have a good night, everyone.